Good evening, everybody. This is Robin with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight, and my guest tonight is GIGI Gustin. How's it going, Gigi?
It's going good. How's it going for you?
Pretty good. Thank you for coming on tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, anytime. I checked out your horror short film. It was like an exotica, thriller, paranormal, all into one. Nite Flirt. So was this your film? Did you put everything into it? You know, financially wise, all that stuff.
Yeah, I did. I financed it. I produced it. I cast it. I hired the writer, the director. I basically was tired of doing TV movies, as fabulous as they can be. Love a good Lifetime movie. I just was feeling a little bit creatively starved, and I just wanted to do something that I wanted to do. So I came to this Emmy-nominated writer, Samuel Gonzalez Jr., and I said, I need something self-contained just for me, like one location. And he came to me with this script about a phone sex operator, and I was like, okay. And then together we came up with the ending, because that was the only thing I didn't like. And then Nite Flirt was born.
Yeah, especially that sexy, sultry voice you had as a phone sex operator. That was kind of hot.
Oh, good. I'm glad I did a good job. You know what's funny is in high school, the kids used to say that they thought my voice was fake. I don't know why. I don't know who could fake a voice 24/7. So there was something exciting to me about getting to, hone in on the things that people like make fun of when you're younger. They become the things that you really like, that set you apart as you grow and mature. So I was like, I'm just going to put it on even more for this.
Oh, you did a good job. And this short film reminded me of watching one of those films back in the 80s on USA's Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. Those are the type of films she would, show. And that kind of remind me of that as well. And I love how your character had like major cabin fever. And, she was watching all these 1-900 commercials. And I remembered those during the 80s in the late nights, all the different, it kind of brought a little back memories and a kind of a little chuckle.
Yeah, a lot of people ask us too at Q&As if the commercials, if we shot them for the short or if they're real. And we are like, they're 100% real. We found like an hour worth of footage of those ridiculous commercials, and then just like picked our favorite ones that either we thought were the creepiest or kind of had like a hidden message that we thought could work for the movie, which if you go back and watch it a second time, you'll probably see how there's like little Easter eggs in the commercials that are giving you hints as to what is going on.
Yes, and I love it how it started off where you were doing that little dance number, in the kitchen, having fun, because you were having that major cabin fever. You're like, oh, might as well do something, so I'll just dance a little bit. And it kind of gave me like a creepy vibe. It's like, there's something sinister that's going to be lurking around while she's like, having fun dancing in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. And you were right. You right.
Oh, I was. And I loved your chemistry with Bill Moseley, who was the guy on the phone who wanted to hear you talk, very hot and sexy with him. And the cool thing about it was he started off like this lonely, like innocent guy that was afraid to call this like sex line. And then all of a sudden he started getting creepy when he started getting his voice deeper and you like, attacking your character on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, Bill is the best. We had worked together before on a film called Chastise, which isn't out yet. But that being said, we had connected that way. So I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that I connected with him enough that he would be willing to do my short film. Because, you reach out to a star, like, oh, you want to be in my short film? And I was like, well, I'm going to try. And I did, and he was down. But what's funny is we hadn't cast Bill yet. I had him in mind, but we hadn't cast him yet when we filmed the short. And I had an actor that was supposed to come in and read lines off camera with me just so I had something to respond to. And he bailed last minute. So the director had to direct and read Bill's lines all like simultaneously the day of the shoot. And it was a mess. It was difficult, but we pulled it off. And then Bill just came into the studio and did voiceover. But what I was nervous about was that I would clip Bill's wings, in the sense that he had to fit his responses into the blank space that I left for him. And I didn't want that to keep him from being able to do his thing, but he made it work, and it was awesome. We love what he did.
Oh, between how you guys played off each other talking on the phone, that was golden, man. You had me on the edge of my seat on that. I kind of got a little goosebumps, a little creeped out about that scene.
It was really just him responding to me, because he had no choice, because that's what we filmed, and then he had to respond and fit it into the areas that I left for him. So thank God he's the one that made that work. So I appreciate Bill for adding his flair and still making it a dynamic performance, like you said, and building it from like the soft to the creepy. That was a collaboration between Bill and then also our director.
Yeah, and I like the look on your face when you're like, okay, I'll try a sex operator. You just had that look going, can I pull it off, or should I not do it?
Well, yeah, that's something that's scary. Like, what if you get, like, I don't know, your old high school teacher on the phone? You never know.
oh, that would be creepy. Have your old high school teacher be like, "Hey, is that you, Mr. Edwards from Science? Holy shit!"
Never mind, wrong number.
Yeah, wrong number. Thank goodness there wasn't callback waiting back in those days, where they call you back and go, "Oh, I know it's you." I also love the cinematography shots in the film. I love how you how it angled into like certain scenes when you're in a house, like it would get like real dark and a little light mixture together, which kind of gave it that creepy vibe, and it kind of also played off as a character in that film too.
Oh yeah, our DP was Brendan Ruiz. He's super talented, and we only had one day to shoot the whole film, and those lighting setups take a hot second, and I was stressing because time is money, and I was like, oh my gosh, are we gonna get done in time? But it was so worth it. I'm so glad we took the time, because the lighting is a character in itself. The location is a character in itself. So it's so important, and you can't rush that.
Yeah, and also the creepy scene in the kitchen with her mother, just like, sitting there, you really don't know about the mother, and all of a sudden, she just pops up and she's sitting at that kitchen table with that grimacing look. That was kind of creepy too.
Oh yeah, it's super creepy, and Sheila's who played the mother, she was just perfect. She was just accidentally great. Like, everything she did worked perfectly.
Yeah, and the ending, which really blew my mind. I know you said earlier you didn't really like how it ended, but how'd you guys do that shot where you're like walking towards the TV and then you see this phantom paranormal-ish like white smoke coming out of the TV, like sucking you in? It kind of gave me like a poltergeist moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so well, it's not that I didn't like the ending, it's just that we did run out of time, so we weren't able to shoot it exactly how we wanted. But that was just a mixture of a fog machine, dry ice, and special effects. And it definitely is partially an homage to, the Poltergeist. There's a couple in there. One of my favorite films is Scream, the 1996 one. So, of course, a lot of it is on the phone. So there's a lot of little homages in there. And, the TVs and mirrors and electronics are all said to be portals to the other side. So that's eventually, the devil getting me from purgatory, which is actually the house, to hell, essentially. So I was like, who better than Bill Moseley to take me to hell?
Oh, you'd love it. You'd go in there and go, give me a hug, we're in the fiery pits of hell.
I knew I'd see you here. I knew I'd see you there. What's up, Dave?
Hey, wait, I didn't think you would be here.
Yeah.
And then the ending after that made my jaw drop. That was a head turner for me. When I saw I'm not going to ruin it for everybody, but that ending right there in the scene in that kitchen, man, that just blew my mind. My jaw dropped.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but it's supposed to be like you think that one person is doing the haunting, but really maybe it's the other one, that sort of thing. So some people get it and they love it, and other people are like, wait, and they have to go back and watch it again to figure it out.
Oh, I had to watch it a few times, to pick up certain things too. So it was kind of fun to go back a few times. And also, your short film is going to be part of the film coming out, Nightmare in Precinct 84, about a serial killer sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we just, I can't give too many details yet, but due to distribution, we are changing the name to Night of the Missing. And yeah, that was just kind of, the anthology was my idea. I've been wanting to do one because I've been a part of such fantastic, beautifully crafted shorts, and they unfortunately don't really have a platform to get that much exposure. So I was like, how do I get Nite Flirt seen more? And so I thought having it as part of an anthology would be perfect. And the director was friends with Travis and Chris at Tremendum Pictures, who are the directors behind The Gallows. And I had seen a short that they did at Screamfest that also kind of falls into the theme of missing people. So from there, I spawned this idea, and we reached out to them. They gave us their short and became, partners and involved. And then, we got 2 other shorts, and then just essentially came up with the wraparound. And now we have this fun, jam-packed feature that includes Nite Flirt. So it's going to be coming out soon. I'm excited to give details, but I just can't just yet.
Oh, come on. This Inquirer mind wants it.
I know. I can't wait to scream it from the rooftops. It's hard to have to sit on the information, but I will let you know. It is coming soon.
Oh, let's talk about another person you worked with too. You've done some Lifetime films too, and she was also in the anthology film we just talked about, where she plays a serial killer sheriff. When I had her on, that was her first time ever doing something like horror like that. So she kind of had fun, and she spoke very highly of you. What was it like to work with Meredith?
Oh, I'm actually obsessed with Meredith. She's fantastic. I essentially cast her. I'm the one that brought her to the director and was like, this woman is she's our girl, she's our sheriff. Because essentially it was written originally it was written for a male, an evil, a crooked male cop. But as I read it, I, for some reason, was like, this would be really interesting if it was a woman. But it would have to be someone that could pull off the sinister and charming and still be creepy, but have the ability to, trick us and be believable that, they are actually, a good cop trying to help you. She needed to have all of these layers. And then I thought of Meredith because her and I had done this movie together called Killer Advice.
Oh, yeah.
She plays the killer, or the killer therapist. And it's the same dynamic where you just think she's this sweet therapist. She's actually trying to help the family, but really she essentially tries to take over the family. And she's this evil person who's stolen the identity of the real therapist who she killed. So I was just like, oh my God, Meredith is the one to do this. So I reached out to her and I said, ignore that this is written for a male. I swear you will kill this. And she came on set and she crushed it. I was so proud. The director was so proud. Everyone was so happy. So I hope she does more horror because she did such a good job.
I hope so too. I mean, she can pull it off because I even said that to her and she got a good chuckle. She said she would like to do some more of that. And we were talking about that Lifetime movie Killer Advice, and she said that was crazy, where she was really manhandling you and slamming your head into a granite countertop.
Yeah. Oh, dude, she let me have it. She took my head, she slammed me to one side, whatcha? And she slammed me to the other side, whatcha? And then she has a knife to my face too, and I'm just holding her back as she's just insulting me. And then eventually the lead comes up and hits her on the back of the head with a breakaway glass. But she chases me all throughout the house, and she's my character's name is Jess, and she's got this menacing Jess, and she's got the knife, and she's stalking me. And I was just oh my God, Meredith has to be in this movie. I hope she's willing, I hope she's available, because she works a lot. She's a busy woman. She's super talented, and I was oh my gosh, I hope we can get her. And I couldn't picture anyone else having that role and doing as good of a job.
Yeah, and she also told me she would like to do like a lifetime movie with you where it's not where she's not the villain. It's where you guys are like a mother and daughter.
You know what? Because people have said that we could play like that. Like she kind of looks like my mom. Like so, it would be fun. That dynamic would probably work, and I would work with Meredith on any scale, on any project, just because I think she's the best.
Oh heck yeah! I mean, watching some of these Lifetime movies, these can be horror thrillers too. I mean, you watch some of those; they get crazy.
They are thrillers. They're just more family thrillers. So you can't get away with as much like mayhem as I prefer in my films.
So, you're also a big horror fan too. So, what sucked you in, falling in love with horror and doing some, like you said, you did some other horror films too?
Mm-hmm. I've always been a stone cold horror weirdo. I don't know. I guess I've been watching them most of my life. I saw The Human Centipede when I was 10. And then one of my first projects I did out here in LA, it's a short film called The Springfield 3, which is also about to be part of an anthology. And it stars myself and Ashton Yenny, who was the lead in the first and second Human Centipede. So it just seemed to come full circle for me. It's like I didn't choose horror. Horror chose me.
I like that. You a 10-year-old kid watching a Human Centipede? I bet you probably were just sitting there glued to the TV going, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah, I remember my mom would never let me watch scary movies, but I was always interested for some reason, just part of my DNA. And my one friend, though, she could get away with anything, so her name was Erica. So I would always be like, I'm going to Erica's house, and I would do that just so we could watch the movies that I wasn't allowed, because I knew she would be able to get away with it. So I saw like the Human Centipede over there. I saw the Saw movies for the first time over there. I saw the first Orphan over there for the first time. So I was always sneaking over to Erica's house to watch horror. And I'm like, great, now that I'm an adult, I can just watch it whenever I want. No one can stop me. I may as well put myself in it at this point. And I did.
And you can tell you're having fun doing it, because on Nite Flirt, I can tell you were having fun doing that role. You can just tell. I know you were in character, but for some feeling, I know you were just having a blast.
I mean, I was definitely thriving. I'd gotten what I asked for. But one thing I learned that was really difficult is that I will probably never produce and act at the same time, because I didn't even begin to memorize my lines till the night before. I was so focused on producing the film that I didn't get to spend as much time prepping the character as I would have liked to. But I tend to tap into my craft pretty easily. Like, I'm really not the actor that needs weeks to prepare. I pretty much can just jump into stuff. I'm not someone that needs hours to prepare to cry. I just can kind of cry. So luckily that character was written for me. So she was really easy to just tap into and bring to life pretty much immediately. I got like 1-2 takes tops for like everything, because we were running out of time. And I just can't believe we pulled it off, and it's turned into what it has. It won Nightmares, and now it's part of this anthology that it is about to be out. And then we also just got financing for the feature that's shooting at the end of summer.
There's a feature coming?
Yeah.
No way. Hey, I'm sold, man. This better be at a movie theater, because I'm definitely going to go see that and give it a crazy review.
Oh, by crazy, you mean crazy good.
Yes, a crazy 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
So, when you filmed Nite Flirt at the different film festivals and all that, did you sit in with the audience? And when you were doing that, what was going in through your head while you were witnessing the audience feeling your character in that film?
To be honest, this is the first time I've been so involved. So it's definitely difficult to watch yourself on screen. I feel like as an actress, you're watching yourself and you're watching people respond, and it's, art is extremely personal, so it's hard not to like overthink. But not only am I acting in it, but I also was part of the writing process and, helped produce it as well. So I was just even more sensitive and more of a nervous wreck and more insecure. I felt like I was naked in front of the audience because I put so much into the films. I just felt so insecure. Like, is it okay? Like, I'm like covering myself up. So it definitely feels good when the audience laughs, when the audience screams. But that being said, when the audience does respond, it feels extra good being so involved. You're like, oh, I did it, it worked. They don't hate it. Yeah.
So, are there going to be any more projects you'll end up working with Samuel Gonzalez Jr.?
Oh, definitely. We work together so much, and he's the person who I went to for Nite Flirt. He's an Emmy-nominated writer. He knows the horror genre so well, and I was in a movie called The Retaliators that he co-directed that came out worldwide, and I just loved working with him. So I asked, and he knows me so well. He knows me as an artist so well. He knows my personality so well. So I knew that he would be able to write a character just for me, and he wrote the feature of Nite Flirt is going to be directing that. So we'll be working on that movie together end of summer.
Hey, I'm excited about that because I've seen some of his stuff. I mean, he's a pure genius. I would love just to sit with him and just pick his morbid mind. You know, it's like, how do you come up with this crazy shit?
Yeah. No, he is so good. What's funny was I told him, like, hey, I need something like, I'll fund it. I don't care. I just need something like super like sexy and scary and creative. Just something, one location. I was thinking maybe like, you know, maybe the whole thing takes place in like a bathroom stall or like trapped in a closet, something experimental. And he was like, okay, I can do that. And in like 24 hours, he comes back and he's like, you're playing a phone sex operator. I'm like, that is not even close to what we discussed, but I'm listening. And I read the script and I was like, it's perfect. This is the one. We're doing it. So you just got to trust him.
That's awesome. I mean, to be able to do that, and plus your voice, I mean, you just have that unique voice. It just makes it perfect in that film.
Oh, it's fake, apparently. But no, just kidding.
Like I said,
thank you.
Yeah, like I said, screw the trolls and the haters, man. Keep on doing what you like and keep on using that beautiful voice.
I mean, I will unless I start talking with an accent or like there's nothing I can really do. It is what it is.
I can so picture you doing a backwoods horror film with that accent.
Accent.
Yeah, and then hearing the banjos in the background too.
There you go. Paint a nice picture.
Oh yeah, you can picture. I can see, like the type of horror film like that. When you're not like making films, and doing what you really love. What are some of your passions? What do you like to do besides filmmaking?
I watch them. I'm not like in them or actively in pursuit of being in a movie. I'm watching one. I watch films all day. I just got done watching Girl Interrupted right before I got on. I hopped on here with you. I love plays. Like, I love everything, cinema and everything artsy. And I think the only thing that isn't film involved that I do is eat. And I like to go shoe shopping. So there's that.
Oh, I bet you probably have a fabulous shoe closet.
I do, and I get a lot of my shoes from the UK because the American shoes aren't good enough for me.
Oh, I can see you going strutting down like New York or LA or something going, I'm going to put these on and just strut and be like, hey, look what I got, ladies, and you don't got it.
Now, I am a little bit of a fashionista. I love shoes. I love purses. But growing up, I didn't have a whole lot. So now that I can get my own stuff, I do. And I don't hold back treating myself.
And plus, you live in sunny California, which makes me homesick. I grew up out there. I'm in the Midwest with all the crazy weather, the 4 seasons. But, I like to come back home every year. And it's so hard to go back to the Midwest because, none of my friends want to come see me. I got to go back home and see them.
Yeah, well, see. Yeah, I love it here. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's so much to do in that wonderful state. So where can everybody find you on social media and some of your other projects you're going to be doing?
So I'm on Instagram. It's at GIGI Gustin, GIGIGUSTIN. And Twitter, same thing, but there's a 0 at the end because someone stole my name before I could get it myself.
Say what?
And I have a few projects coming out. I have a project coming out soon called That's a Wrap. Serena Vincent is in it.
Nice.
Which is really cool. The director's Marcel Walls. He's really fantastic. That movie should be coming out around August. I can't give specific details, but keep an eye out for that. That's a Wrap. And then the anthology coming out soon. And then also, we're about to do Nite Flirt. And I do have a movie with Bill Moseley, too, the one where I met him, called Chastise, that is coming out one of these days, I hope.
Fingers crossed. I'm definitely looking for it. I'll definitely see that for sure.
I hope so. And also, as much as horror is my favorite, I do want to mention I have a movie coming out with that Tom Sizemore was in called American Trash. Rob Lasardo is in it. It's his directorial debut, and I got to work with Tom. So I'm really excited for that to come out as well. So you'll have to keep an eye out. Got a bunch of teams.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And everybody, thank you for listening to Horror Pop After Midnight. Have a great